Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon show. I'm Kendra Cook. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV, and the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news. If you have a news topic or story you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119 or email dcbnnews@gmail.com. Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Saturday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is September 15th, 2017, and now the news at noon. According to the Journal report, there are 5 things you need to know about Colorado Connect for Health open enrollment. Federal funding cuts to insurance offered by state health care exchanges have raised questions about the coverage that would be available next year. While some people will see prices change, Connect for Health Colorado customers will likely see fewer changes than those buying insurance through the federal government, said Luke Clark, a spokesman for Connect for Health Colorado. Some healthcare advocates and insurers are concerned that the open enrollment period will be one of chaos and confusion, but that is less likely in Colorado because it is one of 12 states that operates its own health insurance marketplaces, maintaining control over advertising and help it can offer the consumers. That will create a striking difference when open enrollment begins Wednesday, November 15th, between those states and the other states that rely on the federal marketplace, essentially creating a tale of 2 countries. For the individual health insurance market in much of the country, the Trump administration has slashed spending on advertising by 90% and drastically reduced budgets for groups that help consumers choose a plan. It cut the open enrollment period in half to 6 weeks, shortening the sign-up window further. The federal government will shut down its online marketplace, healthcare.gov, for 12 hours of maintenance nearly every Sunday during open enrollment. The 12 states with their own exchanges are free to chart their own course and make it easier on consumers. They also can make their own decisions about spending because their budgets are free from Washington politics. State-run exchanges typically pay for their operations through fees charged to insurers on plans sold through their marketplace. Minnesota, Colorado, and Washington will continue heavy advertising for their exchanges. 5 key facts for those interested in enrolling or re-enrolling in Connect for Health Colorado are that financial assistance is still available, even though premiums are expected to rise about 31% in La Plata and Montezuma counties for 2018. The open enrollment lasts until January 12th. For the coverage to be effective by January 1st, consumers need to enroll by December 15th. 3, the Colorado expects strong enrollment, that the insurance providers have changed. For example, in Montezuma County, Cigna will no longer offer insurance through the exchange next year, leaving Anthem as the only provider for residents looking to buy plans on the exchange. And 5th, free help is available. In Dolores County, contact the health clinic to make an appointment with the advisor to discuss your specific needs. With continuing the saga of the playground equipment in Dolores, the Journal reports that a much-anticipated engineer's report on the condition of the playground at Joe Rowell Park concluded the 15-year-old structure is in poor to fair condition. But the Dolores Town Board was not ready to give up on the popular structure that many in the community have rallied to save. It closed September 11th because of safety concerns. In response to pleas from parents that it will be reopened as soon as possible, the board instructed staff to investigate whether repairs can be made affordably. If they can, requests for proposals to do the work may be issued out to local contractors. The playground's original builders, Leathers and Associates, conducted the assessment on its condition November 8th. Their estimate to repair the playground, including materials and their fees, was $160,000 to $190,000. But board member James Byard felt getting the worst problems fixed and the playground safely reopened could be done for a lot less by local qualified contractors. Some local builders have already offered donated time and materials. Board members also said that they were still interested in applying for a Great Outdoors Colorado grant to replace the playground equipment with materials that last longer than wood. The next grant deadline is November of 2018. Board member Izzy Boyce said repairs need to comply with the town's insurers, who have expressed concerns about the playground's deterioration and outdated materials. The insurance company has required certain repairs over the years, but never dropped the policy. Town manager Lana Hancock said that $33,000 has been reserved in the budget for potential use as matching funds if a GOCO grant was awarded for a new playground. The fate of the playground has packed recent town hall meetings, and Monday it was again standing room only. A Friends of the Playground group is organizing fundraising and volunteers for playground needs. They've raised $3,000. To donate, go to the Friends of the Playground GoFundMe page. The board approved the first reading of an ordinance establishing a 5-member Parks and Playground Advisory Committee. In Silverton, they just got their first avalanche rescue dog, and his name is Ed. According to the Durango Herald report, Ed has been in training as the first rescue dog in nearly 5 decades for the area. With an increasing number of people taking to the backcountry, the addition of an avalanche rescue dog is considered a major aid in the event a skier without a beacon is caught in an avalanche. Ryan Mason, Ed's handler, said, "Having a dog at my side is extremely valuable up here. The last avalanche rescued dogs to romp around the high country of the San Juan Mountains were in the 1970s, but as mines closed over the years, the Silverton's population dropped, so too did the number of avalanche rescue dogs." Mason, who worked for a decade on the Telluride Ski Patrol, which has an extensive avalanche rescue dog training program, watched how handlers trained canines for the life-saving work and the benefit it brought. Last year, he landed a job with the Silverton San Juan County Ambulance Association as a paramedic and joined the all-volunteer San Juan County Search and Rescue Team, which deployed when someone is caught in an avalanche. At a professional rescue course in March, Mason ran into an acquaintance who breeds working dogs in Wisconsin. Months later, Mason picked out Ed out of the litter. The golden retriever was the runt, which is helpful in case Mason needs to carry Ed into the backcountry or load him into a helicopter. As a tradition, Mason said avalanche rescue dogs are named after prominent people in the ski snow science culture. So Ed is named after Ed LaChapelle, a pioneer in the field of avalanche research and forecasting who lived in Silverton. It will take about 2 years for Ed to complete his training, which will culminate in a validation course on the Front Range. In the meantime, Mason is doing basic puppy training, mixing in some rescue exercises such as hiding Ed's favorite toy in the dirt to get the puppy used to using his nose, or carrying the puppy in a bag to get him used to uncomfortable travel. Avalanche rescue dogs, used since the 1880s, are most common on ski resorts and are deployed to help locate people who are caught up in a snowslide who do not have a GPS spotter or beacon. In the backcountry surrounding Silverton, most people venture out with this life-saving essential equipment, said Jim Donovan, emergency manager for San Juan County. But those who don't, that is where Ed steps in. On average, there are 2 or 3 rescues per year for people caught in the avalanches in the San Juans around Silverton. Donovan said the time is always critical to ensure a person's survival. "We have just seen an increase in winter accidents," he said, "and we're expecting to see more." Voters in Silverton recently approved a sales tax increase to funnel more money to emergency services, which Donovan said will help respond to the increase in recreational tourism. And now, let's take a look at our weather forecast. The National Weather Outlook continues to feature snow and rain mixes along the Pacific Northwest, with the high pressure still hanging over the west, southwest, and central part of the country, and a practically vertical low pressure front pushing rains, thunderstorms, now from eastern Texas all across the plains and Midwest to the mid-Atlantic, and snow or rain-snow mixes are predicted near the Great Lakes. The southeast tip of Florida is also potentially experiencing some rain today. Looking to Thanksgiving travels next week, the weather story is that progressively colder air will unleash rounds of lake-effect snow from the upper Midwest to the interior northeast for travel during the week of Thanksgiving. Regionally, there is a current hazardous weather outlook warning for eastern Utah and western Colorado. A few high clouds will move overhead today as temperatures remain warm. Flow will become more southwesterly, allowing these warm temperatures to remain. A deep trough and associated cold front will drop down from the northwest and will bring snowfall to all mountainous terrain late Thursday night through Saturday. Snowfall amounts will generally be in the 6 to 12-inch range for the mountains. Valley rain for the northern and central valleys will be common. High pressure will build in after that, bringing a return to sun and warming temperatures. So again, dry and unseasonably warm weather will persist today, Wednesday. Upper-level winds will shift to the southwest late Wednesday and into Thursday as our next Pacific storm and associated cold front approach the region. The National Weather Service is saying to expect gusty prefrontal winds on Thursday afternoon, with gusts exceeding 40 miles an hour at times in northwestern Colorado. This system has the potential to bring scattered to numerous showers with rain in the lower valleys and snow in the higher elevations. Temperatures will cool back down to below normal behind the cold front on Friday and into the weekend. For our DCTV 5-day local outlook, today it's sunny with a high near 58, south winds 5 to 15. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 37 degrees, south-southwest winds just 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday it'll be mostly sunny with a high near 60. South-southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour, so that prediction has backed off a bit on the wind gust speed. Thursday night mostly cloudy with a low around 41. South-southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Friday, we are now back looking at a potential of 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 56. It'll be breezy with a south-southwest wind 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Friday night still persists for a chance of rain showers before 9 p.m. and then a chance of snow showers between 9 p.m. and midnight. Partly cloudy with a low around 25 degrees. The chance of precipitation is 30%. Then sunny Saturday with a chilly high only near 48 degrees. Saturday night mostly clear with a low down around 23. Sunday also sunny with a high near 52. Sunday night partly cloudy with a low of around 28 degrees. And again, the same conditions persist into the work week with Monday forecast as mostly sunny with a high near 54 and Monday night a low around 31. The annual Leonid meteor shower will be visible with clear skies for stargazers across parts of the western, central, and southern United States during its peak on Friday night and into Saturday morning. Once those clouds clear out, you might have a stargazing opportunity, but be sure to bundle up. And now, back to the news. Reported from the Durango Herald, the U.S. Forest Service is challenging a federal judge's ruling from earlier this year that its Rio Grande office's approval of the village at Wolf Creek was steeped in predictive bias and was contrary to law. On last Thursday, the U.S. Forest Service, through the U.S. Department of Justice, filed a notice of appeal with the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. The developers of the proposed resort, Leeville McCombs joint venture, also appealed in October. The notice of appeals the Forest Service submitted contained only a brief statement that it intended to protest the decision, so the reasons why are unclear. The federal agency has 14 days to submit a more substantial challenge. The U.S. Forest Service referred all questions to the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice declined to comment. In May, a senior U.S. District Judge for the District of Colorado handed down a strongly worded decision that the U.S. Forest Service's Rio Grande office's approval of an access road to the proposed resort was invalid on many levels. Since the 1980s, Leeville McCombs joint venture, headed by Texas billionaire B.J. Red McCombs, has attempted to build a massive resort on a remote mountain pass adjacent to the Wolf Creek ski area. However, the development has lacked road access. In 2015, Rio Grande Forest Service Supervisor Dan Dallas approved a land exchange with Leeville McCombs, which effectively granted the developers that access. In response, environmental groups and others opposed to the resort filed suit, claiming the Forest Service's approval of the land swap shortchanged the environmental impacts of the development and was unduly influenced by McCombs. Judge Richard Mash, responsible for the May decision, agreed. Quote, "What NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, requires is that before taking any major action, a federal agency must stop and take a careful look to determine the environmental impact of that decision and listen to the public before taking action." Match wrote in his decision the Forest Service failed to do that. A motion was filed in September to reconsider this decision, yet Match upheld his determinations. The proposed village at Wolf Creek would have the capacity for an estimated 8,000 to 10,000 people on a mountain pass that is at an elevation of 10,000 feet and more than 20 miles from the nearest town. Those opposed to the resort have cited the impacts it would have on the environment, namely the headwaters of the Rio Grande River and the endangered lynx. And speaking of ski towns, the Biz Journals reported on a recent Forbes article stating that 5 of the nation's top 10 ski resorts in the country are in Colorado, according to this new list. In the latest The Top 10 Ski Resorts in North America for 2018 list in Forbes, 5 Colorado ski areas were listed. That compares with just 2 resorts from the state on the list in 2014. Forbes, using something called a, quote, pure awesomeness factor to rank its resorts, which is an algorithm that includes a ski resort's terrain, snow profile, quantity, quality, and dependability, town ambiance, ease of travel, lodging base, acreage, continuous vertical, plus the personal experiences of the Z Rankings crew stationed out on the snow across the continent. Jackson Hole in Wyoming was ranked number 1, and here are the Colorado ranked ski areas. Number 4 was Vail. Vail continues to be the anchor destination ski resort in the state of Colorado, says Forbes. Number 5 is Telluride. Telluride is quickly becoming the only ski town known better for its summers than its winters. Number 7 was Aspen Snowmass. They said, by dipping into trees that may look impenetrable at the top, skiers can find 4 to 5 turns of good untouched snow at a time, often more than a week since the last storm, said Forbes. Number 9 is Beaver Creek. It's big, it's high, the views are glorious, and there's all kinds of hideouts and mini activities to ski through in the woods, including a faux gold mine and a saloon. And number 10 is Winter Park. Skiers will find Winter Park to be a true destination resort, but one that's in a quieter corner of Colorado, says Forbes. Colorado ski areas are slowly making presence felt on the list. In 2015, there were only 3 Colorado ski areas on the Forbes list, and again in 2014, there were only 2 on the list. And now, for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of November 6th through the 12th. Dispatch was notified of loose cows on County Road 15. Further investigation found them to be located within Montezuma County limits. Cortez Dispatch was referred the call. A town resident reported a possibly dangerous person heading into town. Officers were notified to be on the lookout. A town resident requested a deputy to assist with an individual that would not leave their house. The individual was contacted by an officer. A report of illegal hunting after sundown in San Miguel County was investigated by a Dolores County deputy. The hunters had fled the area before the deputy arrived. A concerned family member called for a welfare check on a town resident. An officer made contact with the individual and everything was okay. A local resident called the sheriff's office regarding an individual that was on the property without permission and had been asked to vacate. The individual was refusing to leave, so an officer made contact with the individual and the individual did leave the property. And Sheriff Martin cautions local residents of scams such as calls requesting donations for law enforcement and their families. Any calls received, please contact the sheriff's office so they can be investigated properly. That concludes this week's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates next week. And now today's High Canyon Country happenings. On November 17th, Friday from 6 to 10 p.m., go to Jack's Hitching Post in Norwood for the Norwood Turkey Bingo. It was created by a Norwood resident that knew there was a way to give back to the community by hosting a free bingo event. Thus, Norwood Turkey Bingo was born. Over the past few years, Norwood Turkey Bingo has raised money to support ACE of Norwood, the Lone Cone Library, and U.S. troops stationed all over the world through generous donations from locals and local businesses. With the help of the staff at the Hitching Post, this event keeps growing every year and shows just how involved the town of Norwood can truly be when they all come together for a cause. The event has become so popular that other grand prizes given away through drawings may include smoked turkey, goose, duck, prime rib, and even lamb. So come on out for a chance to win a turkey by playing some free bingo, grab a turkey dinner, enter the grand prize drawings, and participate in the auction. You will not be disappointed. Sunday, November 19th in Mancos at the Summit Lake Community Church, there will be a community Thanksgiving dinner from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. There will be a Thanksgiving meal and short musical program. Turkey, gravy, dressing, mashed potatoes, rolls, drinks are provided, and bring a side dish or dessert to share. It's obviously all things turkey this month. Thursday, November 23rd, it's the 3rd annual Dolores Turkey Trot, 5K or 1 mile fun run. Gather at 8:30 a.m. at the Dolores High School. The start time is 9 a.m. The route runs west down Central and then up the Dolores River Trail and through town back to the high school. Admission is non-perishable food or any other item for the Bridge Emergency Shelter. And it should always be a time to be thankful. We thank you for watching DCTV's News at Noon program here over the air and on YouTube and our Facebook page. Please do let us know what you like or not so that we can grow the local news show into 2018. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air. And thanks for tuning in for the DCTV News at Noon show. Please check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. And catch any of the broadcasts Monday through Wednesday at noon, 3, and 6, and then rebroadcast on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6. From Dove Creek, Colorado, I'm Kendra Cook. Be kind and be well.